My name is Rashina. I run a creative studio called Amplify Studio. We're based out of London, but we actually have clients all over the world in places like Singapore, Dubai, the United Kingdom, and we also have a very distributed team. So our team is an all-women team, and we are kind of from various different countries and primarily actually women from Asia. We're very keen to represent Asian women within the creative industry. We work with clients on creative campaigns, which involve generally social media, storytelling, and really buzz generation. So helping them to amplify their brand in the eyes of the world. That's something very central to everything that we do as a company. And the way that I met Relinda was that actually a couple of years ago, I became aware of her in my social media orbit. And I was following her, but I hadn't really interacted with her before. We hadn't spoken. And towards the end of 2020, I started having this theme come up in my life where I felt like I wasn't really getting anywhere. So I had already had several accolades, like I had become United Nations consultant. I had been in various successful sales positions. I was doing a lot of high-level copywriting, but I felt like on some level I was going through this washing machine type experience. I would get somewhere and then suddenly it felt like things would come all the way back around again and I would somehow have to start again. Or I always felt that there was some invisible ceiling that was blocking me from getting to where I wanted to be in life. So around about that time, I started to really pay attention to some of the posts that I saw Relinda posting on social media. Some of the things that she was talking about really resonated with where my thoughts and feelings were at that point. So that's when I joined the program. So being part of the program was a really interesting experience for me because it was something that happened at a point in my life that was a really difficult moment for me. So I was in a really toxic relationship. I was at a point in my self-employment where I wasn't really sure what I was doing. And being a part of the program really transformed things for me. And I personally very much credit Relinda with a lot of the transformation and growth that I've seen in my life, especially during that period. I think some of the highlights for me were actually having the VIP version of the program and getting one-on-one time with Relinda, being coached by her, getting belief coaching in particular was the biggest transformation for me. It worked really, really well on me. So I actually, as we would work on specific beliefs, I would see how that played out in my life. So we did some subconscious limiting belief coaching and we moved beliefs. And I think the first one that really made a difference was me being able to trust myself. So I actually had the belief that I couldn't trust myself, and we worked on that together. And I immediately started doing things differently within my life, almost like a light bulb had switched all of a sudden. And I hired my team, and that led to more business. And now my company is really growing and evolving in a really beautiful way. I personally trace that back to trusting myself, feeling safe, knowing that it's safe for me to be successful. Some of the core beliefs that we worked on. And I think that those were really the highlights: the belief coaching, the training, the ability to actively see that shift, and also having support from Relinda as things began to shift in my life, because things happen very quickly. And when things start to change in your life, which is great, and it's usually a result of changing things to get into the direction of the things that you want, but often it can be really overwhelming. So for me, what was really valuable was having Relinda on my side, in my corner, helping me through a lot of the things that started to change in my life as I progressed towards more of the goals and the life that I wanted. So firstly, what I think the real long-term benefit of this coaching has been is that it's not only has it given me tools, and I know that people always talk about tools, but I think that it's really important as you evolve your life and your perspective to have levers and systems that can support a next level of growth. So tools are actually what it has given me. And I also think that the way in which my coaching journey with Relinda unfolded has meant that I now have conditioned my mind to be able to respond to things in an entirely new way, which is why the change is sustainable, because no matter what life throws at me, I'm a different person now, and I can deal with things as that new person. And there are certain things that fell out of my life that made way for this person that I'm becoming. And so it's, even though now my business is in this beautiful place where we are making a lot more money and we're growing in other more substantial ways than just financially, I also feel that mindset wise, the expansion that I've experienced has meant that it doesn't matter what business I would be working in. It doesn't matter, what I would be doing. The benefit of having worked on my mindset and my limiting beliefs will extend across my life for many years. So I would just really recommend for people to get the VIP experience so they have one-on-one time with her. I think that's the most valuable, is when you actually get exposed to her way of thinking and you get exposed to especially the belief coaching. For me, the belief coaching changed everything. And if I were to retake the program again, that would be the one thing that I would ensure that I get the most of, is the belief coaching. I also think that people need to really understand that it is an investment in themselves, and that often these kinds of investments with coaches in various different spheres don't pan out, because the coaching industry is saturated and it's filled with people who are talking about the results that they can get for people. But within that realm, Relinda is actually the real deal, and she's doing really powerful work. So I just want people to know that.